Hey, this is Greg. Today we're going to take a look at a 1968 convertible Camaro. This Camaro was sold new in Germany and was actually built in Norwood but shipped to the Antwerp Belgium GM factory for final assembly. It was sent over in what they called an SUP or single unit pack. They would do the final assembly there and then ship them off to the country they were being sold at. This car was a convertible and a pretty original car with the original interior and the original drivetrain. It had the L30 275 horsepower 327 with a power glide transmission. Also had a 273 10-bolt non-positive traction rear end. This car also had the original brake booster, which was a 9078, and it was dated 3/43, which was December 9th, 1967. According to the trim tag here, this car was built in the 5th week of December, and it's an original white car with a black top. And you see that information on that Belgium tag that was affixed to the firewall. Also had another tag for being sold in Germany. They had that German tag on there. This was a look underneath the trunk after I pulled the fuel tank to put a new fuel sending unit, cleaned up the rear end and painted it, put some new mufflers on the car, had a couple holes in the old ones, cleaned up those headers and the underneath of the car. So I took a lot of the components off, got everything cleaned up, painted it, put some hoses on it, and just did a lot of general things, maintenance underneath the hood to make it look nice. I also ended up painting or dyeing the top. As you see in some of those initial pictures, it was almost gray from being faded, but I dyed it and brought it back to life, making it look like it was black again. Also, here's the rebuilt quadrajet carburetor that I put on the car. And then I was able to get an original 1968 air cleaner that kind of completed things underneath the hood. So this car also had the painted XF coated steel wheels. And you see here, this is the spare. You can see the code very clearly. That spare had a tire on it, a Uniroyal tire that said made in Belgium on it. And underneath the deck lid, it had a sticker there that was in 3 different languages that talked about the different air pressures for the tire. So you see here the interior, deluxe interior, black with a console, had gauges. This car had power top, folding rear seat, and also this car was very unusual. It had a rear window defroster in a convertible. Also had that hazard light that was on the dash that was required in that country. And then here's a bumblebee stripe that I placed on the car that added a little extra to it. And I think it came out really nice. You can see the pictures here of the car that was pretty much complete at this point in time. I also had put a new grille on the car. The old one was very fragile and just fell apart. And then the last thing I did was add some rally wheels. So here's what it looks like with those rally wheels on the bumblebee stripe and the top down. So it came out pretty nice, but I sold the car, and believe it or not, the car went back to Europe, went to France. Thanks for watching.